are we being successful? Are people liking it or are they not? You know, they think I'm just some kind of weirdo, or, you know, we're talking too much about little people, or, you know, what's going on? And when Kevin wrote in and said that he was searching on iHeartRadio for a recovery podcast and we popped up and he listened to us and he liked us, that's when I knew, okay, that's what it's about. It's not about having 1 million listeners. It's not about having 10,000. It's not about anything like that. It's cool that people in New Zealand listen. What's up? But it's not about it. You know, it's about me expressing my day in recovery. And if one person like Kevin, who was looking for a podcast about recovery, and Kevin likes it and he can listen to it and he can relate to it, that's what it's about. You know, if I can help one person stay sober besides myself, that's great. You know, it doesn't need to be a big production, and I have fun doing it too. And I have this cool ass studio right now, and you know where I was at a year ago, and sober living, sitting on a couch with like 2 dudes, and I love Rob. I miss Matt. Hope he's doing well. But you know, come pretty far, man, and that's huge. The guy told me tonight. You know, he's like, man, you know, it seems like you're doing well in your recovery, you know, and the things that you're going after. And I'm like, hell yeah. I told him you can't wait sometimes for other people to create your purpose. Sometimes you got to make it yourself. And that's kind of what Joyce did. I realized that, you know, what Roy had told me, I had to really think about it. And once I realized, you know, doing the podcast was going to keep me sober, that's what I needed to do. And like I said, step out of the shadows, you know, put it out there. You know, don't be ashamed that I'm bettering my life. Who I was 2 years ago, not the same guy. Not the same guy at all. Much better guy. And I'm trying to do things the right way. So, you know, Joyce kind of was like, yeah, you should. And, you know, she was really behind pushing me to really go after it, because I would start having those doubts of, well, what are people going to say, and do I really want to be out there, and I don't know. And she's like, yeah, you can do it. You know, those people think, it doesn't matter. And so in my mind, when I was in the treatment center, that's what I'm going to do. So I get out, and then I start to slip back into my old ways of, well, before I start the podcast, well, we're going to need a website, and you know, we can't have a podcast on the website. Which one am I going to use? Am I use Spreaker? Am I going to use Anchor? What am I going to use? What platform? I don't know. And then Ryan, I want to call him Schnodick, but it's not Schnodick. Maybe it's Ryan. He was my mentee. I was his mentor. I know it's scary. And he got out of treatment, came to the same sober living house. He was in room 217 as well. And he just looked at me and he's like, Corey, can I be honest with you? And I said, yeah. He's like, tell you the truth, I'm disappointed in you. And it blew my mind. Were you disappointed in me? For what? He's like, I thought you had already had this started by now. And, you know, those 3 people and those 3 things, without them being in my life, saying those things the exact moment that they said them, really kind of put this all on the map. You know, me finding that purpose of what's it going to take. And then me having that encouragement, you know, from Joyce saying, go do it. Don't worry about other people. Go do it. And then, you know, having being called out for not putting it into action, you know, by Ryan. And it was those 3 people, and then it was off and running. You know, I thought, okay, F it, I'm doing it today. Made a decision, which if you ask me, some people who know me well, they're like, that in itself is just a miracle. You got Corey to make a decision. It didn't take him 2 years. So I did it. You know, I started the website, and it was the right one. You know, it was only $10 a month. It was a app-based website. What's the name? Universe, something like that. So if you're looking for a website, there you go. I knew how to do a lot of things that the website couldn't do. You know, learned that kind of stuff from iHeart Media when I worked there. They're working on their websites. So I was like, okay, I can create this and then just implement it into this one. So that helped a lot, and it made the website look a lot better than it really should have. But, it worked. It gave people a place to go, and it served its purpose, until we got the new website. Was that back in January? Which I love the new website. I still need to work on it, though, but it's never going to be enough for me to be satisfied with. But 217recovery.com, check it out. Once I got that, got with Spreaker, and you can do free podcasting. So if you want to do a podcast, feel free, man. I'll support you. I really will. It's free for like 15 minutes. You can do like 15-minute shows. So like if you go back, and they're still posted to our very first, few podcasts. I think they're only like 13, 14 minutes long because we had that time. And, then we upgraded. We had some donations. We upgraded and got, like a plan. And I think we had like 30 minutes then. Something like that. And then it like got bumped up to like an hour or 45 minutes maybe. And then it was like, I think we have like 3 hours now. Yeah, I can do a 3-hour show, but it's amazing how, it's come along, and, the people that have been a part of it, and, some have gone. A lot of people that I've interviewed, are back out there in, active addiction, and I hope, they can get back and, get back on that good life. It's much better than being out there. Let me tell you, it's hard sometimes to really get it started back in the right direction. It can spin out of control very fast. So you can do it though. You really can. It doesn't have to take almost dying. It doesn't have to take jail. It doesn't. You're the only one putting it off. And it's excuses. Well, hold on. I'm going to wait till I, can get this. Are you? Not two friends of mine this week didn't have time for that anymore. Maybe they thought, oh, I'll do it next week. Well, there was no next week for them. And I'm serious, and how serious it is. But got to do it for you, and you got to want it. But find that purpose, though. I don't know what it is for you. Could be lots of things. But without that purpose, without that drive, what's it going to take for you not to use ever again? Just think about that. Think about that for a few days. What do you put above everything else in your life? What makes you feel like you have a purpose? Start there. Figure it out. Write some things down. Just think about it. Spend some time alone with yourself just thinking about that. Then surround yourself with people that encourage you. Not that laugh at you. I told the podcast thing to tons of people, oh, yeah, okay. Who think you're... Didn't let it bother me. I found those one or two people that just really pushed me, and they believed in me and said, look, you can do whatever. You're a funny guy. You talk, they have things to say. People will like it, and they'll like following along with your recovery. And surround yourself with those good people. It doesn't have to be 40. It doesn't have to be 5. It could be 1 or 2 people. And then find the controller. That's what they call him in business. The guy that's going to keep you on track. Find your Ryan, who's going to say, man, thought you'd already done that by now. Thought you, the way you were going with it, man, thought you had already had it up and going. Find that guy that's going to hold you, accountable. Those are 3 people I think that are huge factors in my recovery, and might as well. I'm not writing a blueprint here or anything, but it worked for me. So just throwing out suggestions, letting you know how I've been doing it. But I really want to talk about Anna too, because when we got started, I remember we were outside that nasty Chinese restaurant, and we were like smoking where we weren't supposed to be smoking, and we were all huddled. And by we all, it was me and Kendra and Anna, And Kendra was really like, oh, I want to be a part of this podcast, and we could do like this and that, and and I think they were talking about like living together too, like, oh, we could run the business and we could do, and we had all kinds of grand big ideas, and Kendra just kind of fell off, like, like not like in her recovery that I know of, but like just wanted to distance herself for some reason. And I don't know, who knows, but Anna, she came out, man, and she went to the UFAM rally, and she had a panic attack, I believe it was, and it was not good. She was not feeling well at all, and there was just so many people, and it was hot, and she stuck it out, though. She really did, and she started writing the blogs, and that's tough to write a blog every single day, about 10 things that you're grateful for. It was called the Daily Gratitude, or the Gratitude, or something. I don't remember what we called it. And that was all. That was my fault for naming it something silly like that. But she did it every single day, man. And now, she does it from time to time. But when she posts her blog now, it's like boom. I mean, it looks professional. It looks awesome. It is professional. She is a professional blog writer, and she needs to get some sponsors now. We need to talk about that. But I welcome her to offer it up, for, if she wants people to sponsor her blog, we can show you how many people look at it. You'd be surprised. You'd be like, damn, like that many people look at her blog? I'm like, yeah, she's got a big deal. And, you'd probably freak out, I don't know, about a lot of things, but no, Anna's just killing it, man. And I just really, really proud of her. I know she gives herself a hard time, but she got a lot going on, and she just made, I think, it was a huge decision in her life, but she realized how she wanted to be treated. And I'm talking about, I don't want to talk about too much. I'll let her talk about it on her podcast, but she made a huge decision, and it had to do with how she felt she was being treated. And she put her foot down. She set boundaries, and when it was clear that other people thought it was a game, she said, no thanks. I'm going to go do my own thing. So proud of her for that. And a lot of people wouldn't have done that. A lot of people would have just kept, getting shit on, and she didn't allow that to happen. So I'm really proud of her for that. But I just really have to help her. She had like a new computer, and she was excited, got this new microphone set. And I'm like, okay, well, where's that? But I guess she was having problems setting it up or something. But I'm going to talk her through that tomorrow. So hopefully we'll have a new Broken and Beautiful podcast tomorrow we can listen to. And when the podcast started, it was it's like a podcast with Rob and I from probably a year or so ago, and we're talking about having fun. And I came across this clip as I was making the new crappy intro that I need to redo. And this was, if you remember, or if you want to go back and listen, Tyrone, when he was doing the voiceover stuff, because I was like, I need a voice guy. And my guy in San Antonio, Chris Fuentes, never got back to me. He just kind of blew me off. So I was like, whatever, man. Tyrone, I need you to do this intro. And it turned out I loved it, man. Tyrone is not a voice guy, which was perfect, but he is in recovery. And he couldn't say Chris Goss. Like, I don't know why, but he couldn't say Chris Goss. And instead of just getting him to recut it, we just kept it as Chris Goss, or however he said it. It was something like that. It was just, Chris was just like, damn it, man. So we kind of made it a funny little game for a while, but then we finally decided to change it. And when we did, Chris was there, and it was so funny because Chris is like trying to coach Tyrone how to say Goss. And here's just a little clip from that.
Goss.
Oh, God, yeah, yeah.
Say it again.
Goss.
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 Goss. Say it again.
Why can't he have a human name?
Why can't he have a human name?
Goss.
Oh, God, yeah, yeah.
Say it again.
Goss.
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 Goss. Say it again.
Why can't he have a human name?
But that's when we were having so much fun in recovery at the sober living house that I was the co-manager of, and it was just so awesome, man, to have those times and, those memories that you think, oh, it's going to suck because, I'm in a house with a bunch of dudes and this is horrible. But those relationships that you can build in sober living I'm telling you, man, you can't replace those. And,